What's up guys, Mike here from GB Gains of GB Fitness. Today I'm going to be talking you through the 6 top tips you wish and I wish I knew before I started lifting. It doesn't matter if you've only been lifting a couple months or maybe you started as a New Year's resolution. I started in the exact same spot, so I can relate, and I guarantee this could shave off a year, and I mean a year of hardship. You know, I only started taking the gym seriously about 2 years ago, and it did change my life for the better. But one thing before we do get into the list to make this video a little bit easier and life a bit easier when you go to the gym, you'll do a range of exercises. Each of them will consist of multiple sets, but each one of these sets will have a multitude of reps. You know, for instance, you'll do 8 reps, that's one set, and then you'll do maybe 3, maybe 5 sets, and that will make up the exercise, and you'll move on to a different exercise after. Just a little thing to make explaining this video just a tiny bit easier. But without further ado, let's get straight into the 6. So when you go to the gym, make sure you've got a general idea of what you're wanting to do when you go in. What you don't want is to be stood around just kind of looking about on what you need to do. This doesn't mean you need to know every single exercise, just a rough idea. That's all that really matters. To be fair, to make life easier, I use an app myself. You can see it right there. I go into my workout, say if I'm doing chest and back, and you can see all of my exercises that are going all the way down. And with each of them, if I go into incline bench press, you see the reps that I do and the weight that I do. It's that easy, guys. It might even have an actual guide and pictures to tell you what to do and where you want to be going with it. I'm not sponsored, god damn I wish I was, but I wish I had something like that when I first started, because I was using a little notepad writing down all my exercises. That can get a bit tedious, especially if you lose the notepad, because like I said, I started exactly where you guys are. I had no idea what to do at the gym. I didn't know what exercises trained what muscle or what group of muscles. Point is, you can progress so much with just a little bit of research, determination and consistency. You will get there in the end. But don't forget, you are only at the beginning of your journey. On the back of that point, don't be scared of dumbbells, don't be scared of barbells, don't be scared of the gym, and most importantly, do not be intimidated by the people around you. They all started in the exact same place you are right now. They weren't born 250 pounds squatting 300 for reps. No one is obviously born like that. The point is, they started where you are, they didn't have a clue, they had to learn themselves, and no one is going to judge you because it takes one small step at a time. Okay, so back to the actual main point. So you start working out, what do? I would personally advise chase strength for at least 6 months. You don't want to be going into all these different kind of programs, not really knowing what you want to do, and not actually having your foundations first. Build the foundations first before you start thinking about the house and thinking about what windows you're going to put in. Your first year of lifting is going to be the most incredible year. Your body is going to go through such a rapid change because it's not used to moving, well, any kind of weight. In most cases, it will rapidly build on lean mass. You could be looking at 2, maybe even 3 pounds of muscle every single month, as long as everything else is in order, which I will be going through in this video. I personally started on Iceream Fitness 5x5 by Jason Blaha. This is the best thing I would recommend for when you're just starting the gym. Build your foundations, get your starting strength, because like I said, the first year of lifting is going to be incredible. The changes you will see are absolutely phenomenal, guys. On to the second point, ego lifting and form. One of the worst things you can do is grab a weight you're not familiar with and you actually end up hurting yourself rather than working out instead. Just because some big guy over there is lifting a higher weight than you can doesn't mean you should try and attempt it yourself. Leave your ego at the door. It's the #1 phrase I personally throw around. Not everyone hears it and not everyone will listen to it, but please guys, trust me, no one gives a damn what weight you are lifting. You should be in the gym for yourself and only for yourself, to benefit you and become a healthier, stronger person. Always bear in mind, pain does not mean you're having a good workout. Just the same as no pain doesn't mean you're not having a good workout. So when you're lifting, focus on the range and the movement itself and the contraction instead of focusing on what weight you're actually lifting itself. Because if you can't do it properly, no matter what the weight is, you're not doing it right. You're not going to be working out the muscle correctly, and you won't be breaking down the muscle for it to repair later on, so you can actually lift that weight. And always remember, compound movements are your ally. When you're starting the gym, it might be intimidating to go over to the free weights area where you'll probably see some of the bigger guys at. instead of just going over to the machines. It's not a problem to start off on the machines. I started on the machines, but I knew I quickly had to get into using free weights. Machines and free weights are worlds apart when it comes to working out. You might be able to bench 60 on a Smith machine, but because your other muscles aren't stabilizing the weight for you, when you actually go on to using the free weights, it's going to be so much harder. Look at that, number 3 already. We're on to nutrition. Nutrition is key to everything. Whatever you put in your body is what you're going to get out. And I see way too many posts about people who either can't gain weight or they can't lose weight. It's all going to come down to what food you're putting in your body and how much of it. I am going to try and keep this basic though, guys. There's a few links in the description that we're going to get onto in a second. And the first one we're going to focus on is your TDEE. In layman's terms, it basically means how many calories you need day to day. For example, I personally need 2,800 calories, thereabouts, just to maintain. If I want to lose weight, I can drop up to maybe 2,300, and if I do want to bulk, I'll go up to around 3,300, which is where I'm sitting about now. But just remember, what works for me may not work for you. Everyone is different. For instance, you may be more active than I am. You might work in a warehouse, you might have to run around all day. Whatever it is you may be doing, more than likely, you're going to be doing something different to me. I personally sit in an office 5 days a week, but I train 6 times a week for maybe an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half each time. I'm doing a lot of training, but because I'm sat down most of the day, I put lightly active on the calculator below. So what I want you to do right now is pause the video, bring up the TDEE calculator, it'll be one of the top links in the description, plug all your stats into it, and click go. I'll be waiting. Okay, so now you've got your maintenance calories, and it breaks down all your macros, such as your protein, your carbs, and your fats. You know what you need to aim for. I would personally recommend using MyFitnessPal because it's just that easy. You scan something that you're eating or you search it up, you can find it 99.999% of the time, and it's super accurate. But what you now need to decide is, do you want to cut or do you want to bulk? So do you want to lose weight or do you want to gain weight? I would recommend bulking at first, unless you are over, say, 30% body fat. But if you honestly don't care what you look like, which is fantastic, get straight into bulking if you're just starting the gym. Get your starting strength, get your foundations built, and then you can focus on the rest of your lifting career. But if you do choose to cut instead and lose weight, get down to around 15% body fat so that you can mitigate any fat gain when you do start bulking. Because when you do bulk, guys, you can't avoid putting on some kind of fat. So don't worry about it. This is, like I said, only a small stepping stone in the rest of your life. And you've got this. You've got this. You're gonna kill it so easily. What you don't want to do is be jumping back and forth every couple of weeks, because I guarantee you will get nowhere with that. You need to pick one, pick a goal, set a weight, what you want to achieve, whether you're going up or you're going down, and stick to it. Because you might get a bit on the fluffy side, you might think, oh no, I really want to cut back a bit, I want to eat a little bit less today. No, consistency and determination, two best friends right there. You need to keep going. I'm fluffy right now, and I'm getting fluffier, but I'm still bulking for another 17 weeks. I'm not going to stop just because I'm getting a bit fat. You shouldn't as well. On to my next point, sleep and recovery. So what you may not know is you need to recover from your workouts much more than what you're probably already expecting. What I'm talking about is prioritizing your sleep now. Say try and aim for 8 hours at night at least to give your body adequate timing to be able to recover, especially for your next workouts. If you're going to bed extra tired on a night and you're only giving yourself 3, maybe 4 hours of sleep, you are not going to recover. That's it, nip zada, you are not going to recover enough. If you get 2 hours of sleep a night, you will feel like crap. You are not going to be able to give it 100%. If you can, make a schedule that you can hold yourself to, one that you know you can definitely stick to. I work out in the AM because it's so much easier. There's a lot less people at the gym. I can grab the weights I need to. I'm more alert, I'm ready, and I can tackle my day afterwards. And trust me, once it's a habit, once you keep going, it is so much easier. Okay, and on to number 5, which is one of my favorites, and that is progressive overload. So as I mentioned earlier, when you start going to the gym, focus on strength first for at least 6 months, and then build your foundation, build your base up. But once you're there, what do? Well, you up the weights a little bit, and you still try and aim to get those same amount of sets, which contain the same amount of reps. This is going to be very hard, and that's the point of progressive overload. Because your body will get used to using that weight, it's not going to be overloading the muscle, and it doesn't need to get bigger or get stronger because you're only moving the exact same weight. If you then increase the weight and you're still trying to get out the same amount of reps, there's a lot harder and there's a lot more taxing on the body, but you will eventually get back to the same amount of reps, the same amount of sets, and you'll be doing it all over again. Before you know it, you're curling 20s. And see, that was probably the quickest point on here. Don't just stick at the same weights, slowly go up, but make sure you are keeping that perfect form. That's what matters. Finally, this brings me on to my last point. Something I kind of knew, but didn't really expect on such a large scale when I started going to the gym. You're going to get DOMS, okay? DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So you don't ache, or you will ache a little bit when you're working out, but you won't ache to the full potential until you're finished, and it's probably been a day or two. You haven't squat before, if you haven't trained legs, or if you haven't trained any body part, and you go ham, you go balls to the walls for an hour and a half straight, and you think, oh, I feel great. Guaranteed the next morning you wake up, you're gonna be like, oh fuck, Jesus Christ. It's gonna hurt, guys. It is going to hurt. I'm not joking. When I first started taking the gym serious, right, so we're going back a bit over 2 years now. I started, like you guys, many of you, as a New Year's resolution, except I have stuck with this throughout, and I know you can definitely do it too. I trained arms, okay? Trained arms only for an hour, but I did that many exercises. I wasn't recovering properly. I wasn't resting properly between sets because I just had this insane energy, this adrenaline going through my body. Kept going. The next day, I couldn't lift my arm above my head. I was doing that. It was tight, it was swollen, it was sore, couldn't do anything. I was out of the gym for 6 to 7 days after that, and I'm being serious, I almost left crying because I couldn't do anything. Because I was in that much pain, I had to walk home on a sad, lonely walk by myself because I went with my friends because I couldn't do anything. For those 7 days, I missed out on at least 5 sessions. That's 5 sessions I could have developed myself further than I am today. But that's only one instance of overtraining. So when I got home, crying myself to sleep at night, thinking, what have I done? Can't lift my arm above my head. Feel like an idiot. Basically what I'm saying is, learn from my mistakes, guys. Learn from all the things I've just given you because I didn't have a clue about any of these when I first started going to the gym. This will save you a year of hassle at least. But now we've gone through all 6 points. We're going to do a very, very quick recap on the 6 just to make sure we've got all the key points from them. Firstly, make sure you've got an exercise plan or a rough idea of what you're going to be doing when you go to the gym. Highly recommend the app. You can see pictures of what you need to do because sometimes you might not have an internet connection. Just a general idea, you don't need to know every single exercise. The pictures will show you what to do. Secondly, focus on form and leave your ego at the door. I wish I left my ego at the door that day when I couldn't work out for a week because I wanted to look good in front of my friends. It's all good when you're in the moment thinking, yeah, I'm curling more than my mate, but you look like an idiot the next day when you can't stretch your arm. Thirdly, nutrition is key. Make sure you're eating the right foods. Complex carbs are better than sugars. Try and avoid the sugars if you can, but that doesn't mean you completely eliminate bad foods out of your diet. Everything in moderation, guys. Don't worry about it. Put good food in your body. You're going to feel better than what you would do if you ate some rubbish from a fast food place. And make sure you're not jumping between cutting and bulking every couple of weeks because you'll get nowhere. Focus on one, stick to your goals, you will get there in the end. The 4th point I made was sleep and rest and recovery. Make sure you're sleeping enough. Sleep is your new best friend. Aim for at least around 8 hours a night, and in between sets, make sure you're resting at least a minute, maybe up to 2 minutes, just so you can recover. And again, that will still go back to that form. Don't snap yourself because you do not want to go to Snap City. 5th, we have progressive overload. So once you're nice and comfy with that weight, perfect form, you're getting your reps, you're getting your sets, you're doing all your exercises perfectly, now you can up the weight. This is where you've got a good baseline, so you know where you're starting from now. So you up the weight a little bit, your reps might come down, but then eventually they work their way back up, and then you up your weight again. Keep following this pattern, and that is progressively overloading your body. And then finally, as I just covered, it is going to hurt. Yes, pain does not mean you're having a good workout, and vice versa. No pain doesn't mean you're not having a good workout. But in the beginning stages, it is going to hurt. It's a very awkward one to try and explain. I'm going to be brutally honest. Don't go too hard too quickly. This will help alleviate the problems a little bit, and hopefully you'll hurt a lot less than what I did, and hopefully you won't be out of the gym for a week because you did too many bicep curls like this idiot over here. They are the 6 points, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on all the social media links below my face and in the description. Not wrong with a cheeky little follow, you know what I'm saying. Thank you very much for watching again. I've been Mark of GDB Gains of GDB Fitness. This has been 6 top tips that could save you a year in the gym, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Done.